Hey everybody, welcome to the pipeline. I'm in here, I'm going live now. I just wanted to get with y'all about the Lauren Hill situation. Like I was telling y'all before, some things that I wanted to talk to y'all about Lauren Hill's story. I'm really not gonna do too much talking, but I do want to tell y'all I got some stuff I want to talk about concerning the Boog the Bandit situation. Got a couple things that bother me in my inbox. So I'm gonna address a couple people. I'm not gonna do it today, but be on the look because that's the next video. I'm not gonna go too much into detail now, but it will be some things that will be addressed on my next live. Y'all know I'm horrible at times. Y'all know I'm horrible at times. Thanks for being patient, being with me. Hit the like button if you in here. Hit the subscribe button. Thank y'all for coming in and giving me some of y'all time. Baby Pipeline still up. Y'all shout out to Baby Pipeline. She still woke. And I'm gonna do this real quick, but y'all pay attention and understand what happened to Lauren Hill. How could a person have everything and lose it all? What happened to Lauren Hill's story? This is one of her speeches that I found very interesting. And I'm gonna let y'all hear it. So let's tap into it.
What am I doing? I came sort of late in the program. I kind of listened to some of the things that people have had to say. I think early on, I was in arts and music. I had a brother who was in tech space, ironically. When I was a child, my father was a computer programmer and an entrepreneur.
So YouTube rules, y'all. I'm gonna have to stop and play it for a little bit. Stop, pause it, play a little bit. But listen to the stock that she comes from. Listen to her message. And I'm gonna fast forward some parts too, y'all.
My mother was an English teacher, and we kind of grew up. My brother and I, the fusion of those energies and those directions and those focuses. I heard you, Chameleon, talk about your thirst for information. I think that thirst for information is a thirst for empowerment, which is also connected to a.
Now, when she say chameleonaire is there, this is something that I think it's Chicago. I want to say she had. If it's not Chicago, y'all don't quote me on that. She gonna say it, but very powerful, very inspirational woman, Lauren Hill. But the message that she gives to the masses seem like it goes under the radar.
Thirst for freedom. I remember this was like, I want to say, late 90s, early 2000s. I saw my brother, he had very high hopes about the potential of the tech space. But I don't think that at that point we had come together. We weren't walking together. It was sort of, there were people who were like makers of content. And then there were tech-based professionals and people who had a desire, right, to be in this space. But I don't think at that point that they understood to what.
Listen to the education. Look at Lauren Hill. This is a woman who has had everything. Battled with addiction, battled with abuse, reached the top of the billboards. What happened in her life, even with all the kids and the things that she went through in her personal life? What happened when you experience that level of life? Look at where she is now, even though she's in a happy place. But look at what the industry can do to a person if you mentally and emotionally and spiritually not lined up.
Degree they had to hold hands in order to make the relationship successful. I think since I've been away and as time has passed, those two communities are holding hands much better. They have a better respect for each other. I used to say something jokingly back in the day about how you had street folks who kind of legitimized the academics and the academics who legitimized what the people on the streets were doing. Even the concept that you mentioned just now about the inner nerd, I think what's happening is that everybody is sort of being allowed to be themselves, meaning that the street intellect.
Okay, now see, listen to the power in the message. And everything that she's saying is really what's going on in this world. If you really pay attention to a person's mindset and their upbringing and mental illness, and now with people having this freedom, right? With LGBT, everybody living their own life and everything is out in the open. Nobody is really secretive about things they're into anymore. everybody just really being showing a type of expression in a creative way about themselves.
Is acknowledging that he's an intellectual, you know what I mean? Or he also is an academic of something. And then you have the people who are in the academic space and they realize that they also have a world of experience and desires culturally, creatively, that they want to also aspire to. I think before in the world there was this huge schism, right? It's kind of like the history of slavery, where you had the house slave, right, and the slave in the field. You had people who were given permission or who were granted permission to reach a certain academic status. And in order to get to that academic level, they had to sort of divorce themselves of every other drive and all the other energies. And then you had the people who were left in the fields who...
Pay attention to what she said. Divorce, you have to divorce yourself from them energies. But the way that she used the house slave to a field slave to basically break it down to a urban dynamic, a urban way, pretty much to break down our culture on the mentality of the enslaved mindset versus the field slave, the goal, the drive, the ambition.
You had these very raw energies, you know, they were life force energies, but they weren't really allowed with the volatility, you know, and the hostility that came from the experience of slavery to touch the academic spaces. There were few people within that community who could touch both worlds. They crossed both spaces. They were both academics, and they also had access to the streets. Many musicians, people in the music world were able to do that. Right? People say, you know, where's your inner CEO if you were a rapper? But if you were a rapper, you had to be CEO of something in order for you to be in a platform, to be doing what you were doing in that place on any level of...
Did y'all just hear that? Right? Everybody want to be CEO. Man, listen, Lauryn Hill dropped so many gems, Pipeline. Welcome to the Pipeline, man. If y'all ain't here, let's hit the like button. Speak to me. Let's conversate. This is very, very great information for the people and for the masses. And I don't think too many people, some people probably seen this already, but it's a lot of people that haven't seen this video and really got in tune with Lauryn Hill besides just the music world.
Of significance.
Oh, y'all, commercial. I'm sorry, y'all. But I gotta let it play. I can't skip out, y'all. My bad. But she dropped gems. That's all she do is drop gems.
I just want to say that I'm seeing the world sort of come together more. These energies have always been around. Mm-hmm. You know, this thing, we term it hustle, but it's really just the ingenuity necessary to survive, you know, and navigate in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We call it hustle because I imagine that's just, you know, our way of giving it a name, because sometimes we want to divorce ourselves from the academic space, because that academic space was a source of brutality and hostility for...
Wow. If this ain't making sense to y'all or ringing y'all doorbells right now, man, I don't know what's going on. Because that's exactly what it is. Like she said, the whole hustle. The hustle, listen to it. But she said you divorce yourself from the academic part of your potential because you don't want to tap into the unknown. Because only thing we know and accustomed to is a hustle. We hustle, but we don't use our full potential. Our brain, the stuff that we know, knowledge is power. Apply that stuff into the creative world. That could really put you in better position where you don't have to hustle and bustle so much, so hard for so long. Makes perfect sense, right?
But the reality of it is it's still wisdom, it's still knowledge, it's still invention, it's still development, you know, and it's still progress. So I think as we kind of pull back these labels, we can acknowledge brilliance in the streets. We can acknowledge soul in the academic space. And we can allow these things to come together. The world is filled with way too many bright people for us to still have the problems that we have in the world.
Period.
It's going to be our shame You know what I mean? That we don't sit together and create people who invest with thought and consideration and care to solve the world's problems. If we can do all these things that we do digitally, technologically, economically, we can feed people. We can educate people through poverty. We can solve the problems of poverty. Poverty isn't even.
Oh man, this Lauren Hill is on another. Lauren Hill on a different type of time. She on a different type of time. And people don't understand it. They don't get it. Not saying they don't want to learn it, but a lot of people don't know how to go about achieving certain things, even if it's mentally. Putting themselves back in school and increasing their reading abilities, their spiritual beliefs. We have to get in some kind of root place where we can study something. And when you study, you learn how to master things and obtain and absorb information. You absorb the information and then you apply it into your everyday life. Let's go, Pipeline. Let's get in
Something that
here.
should exist in this world at this point, because we have wealth, we have intellect, we have the ability to develop and design and create whatever we want to. The question is do we want to?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have to ask ourselves. I've been away from a lot of things, for a while now, and incubating, ideas, and doing what I needed to do to how do I say, to deal with the resistance that comes with making change in the world. We ask ourselves, how come these things
Hold
happen?
on, y'all. Let's talk about resistance, right? Resistant to change. And that's what I'm always like trying to talk to my pipeline about, my sub. Shout out to everybody that's in here tonight. Is not being afraid of fear, not being afraid to tap into the unknown. Once we can learn to tap into those things, you'll be surprised. It's a little bit of genius in each and every one of us. We just have to be able and willing and want to discover the unknown. What can we accomplish? Who are we as persons? What is our purpose on this earth? I think everybody have a piece of that inside of them.
Or why was this thing not invented? There was a reason. There were forces that were set up to prevent, certain patterns of evolution, certain patterns of development, right? All this street hustle, right? It would have dominated it if it really had, access early on, which is why it was suppressed, which is why it was met with resistance. But we have the ability now to see the resistance, acknowledge it for what it is, and go beyond it, and go past it. And I think it just takes courageous folks, who are not afraid to see the new world that's on the horizon, separated by education and economics. We actually can make spaces for everyone, but it requires that the creatives, the academics, the intellectuals, those who think with their heart, and emotional intelligent ones, all come together, in the same platform with the same kind of driving and unifying forces to see this world improve. We have the answers.
Facts.
We have so many of the answers. We have the technology. We have the wealth. We just have to be willing to share it. And in order for us to do that, we have to do the work in and on ourselves.
Walk that, man, listen. Man, she better walk that thing. Lauren Hill is the truth. Man, Lauren walking that thing right now. If y'all in here, hit the like button. Pay attention to what this lady is saying. She walking this thing, like literally breaking it down to a point where whatever level you at, educational wise, you can understand and grasp this whole entire message. Let's go.
So that we can be conduits of change and improvement for other people. Because that's really what it's about. We have the ability. We have to be in a position where we're willing to do that for others because we're so confident in our own abilities, in our own grace, and our own blessings that we can actually pass knowledge and information on to others. But we can make a way. I think part of the reason why there's so much invention in the technological space right now is because you have a lot of young cats who weren't given the tools, but they certainly have the ability. And what the space does is it neutralizes so much so that, if you don't have on the right clothing or you don't choose all the right words all the time, you still have a way. So in that respect, we should be very proud. You know what I mean? Very, very happy, very pleased with what's happening.
Very pleased to what is happening. It's not about the material things. Life is not about material things. If you're too busy chasing money and material things, you will forever be exhausted. Your whole life will be a stressed, exhausting life. Because everything that people think are important in this thing called life is totally the opposite of it. I think this whole matrix and the social media and technology has really took the mindset of the people away from the things that's truly important, which is the things that's priceless.
We just want to make sure that we retain freedom, though. You know, and that we always retain our right to our integrity. You know, that no amount of money or no kind of relationships compromise our ability to make decisions that aren't just money based. You know what I mean?
Say that one more time. Yeah. Say that one more time.
One more time.
To make sure that we're in a position always to make decisions that aren't just money based, but that are moral, that are ethical, that are right. That we evolve, you know, we evolve morally, emotionally, spiritually, ethically as we evolve technologically, financially. We just have to make sure that we're aligned, you know. I wasn't even prepared to talk.
Facts.
Hey, a voice that's been missing for too long.
A voice that's been missing for too long. And you see, y'all, she put her hood on and go back in her little, she's so comfortable with being behind the scenes. She not trying to be in the spotlight. She is telling people don't sell your soul for material things and money, because that is the thing that will cause you to go astray. Look at Lauryn Hill. It's nothing about her that's crazy. The image that the world and the media try to portray about Miss Lauryn Hill, she's crazy, she's delusional, she's a drug addict, all of that. Listen to her conversation. This is a very smart, strong, black, educated woman. Do it sound like something wrong with her? The industry tried to get her to go against the things that she believed in. And since she stood on her morals and ethics, she chose to walk away from the whole industry. And that for that, she will always be targeted.
Come on back, sister. Come on back. We need you. We need you.
We need you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jalen Brown, thank you, sir.
So I just wanted to let y'all see that piece of information. Like I said before with Lauryn Hill, very highly respected woman. But it like we talk about all the time with this industry, so many people is in a rush to me, it's like either death or go to jail. And it's a very few that escape and make it out. And Lauryn Hill is one who made it out. Not saying it's not others who made it out, but for her to be nominated for 10 Grammys, drop one album, solo album by herself, and completely disappear from the industry. What did Lauryn Hill experience in that industry through her life? Like when she was in the music game, what was it about the business, the dark side of it, that caused her to completely walk away and get addicted to drugs? I don't think she's on drugs now. I don't think so. I'm not sure. But how could this happen to a strong black woman, the caliber that she is? Not saying we know how the devil come with, money and material things, but Lauryn Hill has been fighting and speaking up for many years against the industry. The music that she want to put out, they won't let her put out what she want to put out. So if she can't do it her way and not their way, she don't want to play the game. I think more artists, especially these younger artists, I think more artists need to start taking a stand when it comes to them contracts, when it comes to the industry and selling your soul. But it's all an agenda, because what they do is they target the low-income poverty neighborhoods. I'm going to set it down. What they do is they target these low-poverty neighborhoods and persuade these kids who come from broken families, drug-addicted parents, broken love, and they come with these gifts and these material things. So to a person who ain't never had nothing, or came from the struggle and want to take care of their moms and their family, it's very easy to be manipulated and persuaded. I just wish that it was more artists who could really prevent a lot of things from happening by not selling out. A lot of our favorite rappers were selling out. We was having a conversation about, for instance, the mob, the mafia and whatnot, and how a lot of artists come out and they say, or big drug dealers, not just let's just not say just the mafia, but big drug dealers. They go and make their names off of these people and reincarnate these people lifestyles from what they used to be. And if you really look at the history of a lot of these big people, a lot of them was rats and snitches and rapists and backdoored they family members for the next spot. Like a lot of these people who got all this history and rank that we praise, when you really dig into these people backgrounds and get out the industry, the media stuff, you will see a lot of these people really is not heroes. A lot of people who we look up to and idolize, when you really break this thing down and really dig into these people, who they was and the things that they had to do for success, you start losing a lot of respect for them. You do. Because you already know the facade that comes with the industry, especially with technology and social media controlling majority of the masses. Majority of the masses. So if they could keep us with love and hip hop, all these gritty crime shows, and every time you look up, it's something going on in Chicago, somebody getting killed, all this bloodshed with all these rappers. Come on. Come on. Lauryn Hill is one who really made it out. We give her flowers, but now it's like people, the media, I would say, portrays it as if she's out of here. She weird. Don't pay attention to her. She's crazy. Ain't nothing crazy and nothing wrong with Lauryn Hill. Only thing that's wrong with Lauryn Hill is she got common sense and her spiritual beliefs saved her. Saved her. Because who knows what she was exposed to only drop one album. What, Miss Education, how many times did that go platinum? Like 4, 5, 6 times platinum? 10 Grammys? One album and completely walk away and never drop another album again? Come on, man. It ain't nothing wrong with Lauryn Hill. It's the industry and what she was exposed to. Hey, y'all. Hey, thanks for coming in here, y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all time. But it was the things that she was exposed to. Cheryl, she did that. Yes, she did, Miss Cheryl. Then she walked that thing. The way she broke it down. And it's like I said, people like, for instance, Boog the Bandit, Star Seeds, Lauryn Hill, Kanye West. These are people that God has specially created who has multiple gifts and talents and have mastered it. It don't matter what they was going to do. If you a star seed, let me tell you something about star seeds. Shout out to my star seeds, because y'all hear me talk about that all the time. Shout out to my star seeds and shout out to my chosen ones, because the ones who know that they different and very creative, if you a person who can master a lot of different things, or you have many different crafts, 9 times out of 10, you are a chosen one or a star seed. God has created you in a certain kind of way with special gifts and talents to share with the world. I'm a star seed. I didn't know I was a star seed until years ago. Maybe about 10 years ago, I started revamping myself, cleaning my body up, getting more spiritually lined up. And then my gifts and my creative talents started coming out and making me more money than I ever made in my life, because I was afraid of my talents, because I always felt different. I knew I was different, and I knew I was a gem. I was specially crafted to do God's work and to help people. That's what I'm here for, to help people. I'm not here to chase no money and manipulate people. I'm simply here to live a great life, do God's work, spread the message, help as many people as I can, and try to get people to change their lives. Because the way the world got us thinking that we need all these material things and we need to have a man who got all this money. First of all, you got to crawl before you walk. You just don't walk into these kind of blessings and just be multimillionaires overnight. It comes with hard work. God blesses you to get in these kind of situations. And anything you do in the dark will come to the light. So if you do any fraud or corruption to get over on the person, financially or mentally, it's going to come back and bite you, rather now than later. It's going to come. That's why it's good to try to do right, live right, treat people right. Because when you go about it that way, you're going to be blessed abundantly. That's just the way it go. You cannot be manipulating people for success. You cannot be a selfish person. And if you a star seed or a chosen one, you always feel like you're being taken advantage of because you have a huge heart. Lauryn Hill had a heart. Look how big she was. The Fugees, I'm not going to take credit from the Fugees. We love the Fugees. That was in my younger years. Lauryn Hill, yes, I am older. Know exactly what you mean. Exactly, right? Exactly. It's many of star seeds and chosen ones, and they don't know who they are. That's why they fall into depression or drug use or alcoholism, because they battling with their gifts, because they don't know which way to go. I could do this, I could do that. So they fight the gifts. I did it. I was guilty of. That's why I was so confused when I was younger. I'm like, what the hell? I know I can master everything that I do. Everything I do turn gold. But what is it why I'm afraid to step into the unknown and really make good money where I could take care of my family and bring the people with me who always supported me from day one? Because that's what this thing about life is about. Anybody who chasing money and got big goals and big dreams, it's really for you to take care of your family. Nobody want to have all the money in the world and be up and by yourself. It wasn't created that way. God created us to walk in pairs. Nobody was meant to walk alone. So that's why when people say it's lonely at the top, and that's a big one. It's lonely at the top. Yeah, because maybe you manipulated a whole bunch of people and crossed a whole bunch of people out to get where you at. So now ain't nobody at your table sitting with you because you left the people behind. I'm just being real with y'all. It ain't never supposed to be lonely at the top. When it's up, it's up. And when you up, you supposed to bring the people you love with you. And that's just how it go. This shit ain't made for what? We can't die with this material or money shit. Where it's going? If it ain't going to your kids. So if you put in a position to win and you win it, it's only right to feed your people. It's only right to feed the community, help these kids out. That's what you got blessed with it for. Because all of this is not our time. We all on borrowed time. But if we going to be on that time, make it count. Make this shit called life great. Make it fun. Make it exciting. Get with good people who want to see you win and motivate you to get up. I asked somebody yesterday, I said, I don't know if it's the weed, because I'm going to be honest, to all my weed people in here, man, salute to y'all, shout out to y'all. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all need to leave that shit alone. I think that weed got fentanyl in it, man. I'm telling y'all. It's just too many people just young and just dropping dead and falling dead. And all this different kind of weed. All my life, I have never seen so many goddamn different flavors and different types of weed. All this shit ain't being grown like that. What is this? It's something in that weed that got people like zombies or something. I really do. I think it's something in that weed. And I do think they put in fentanyl in a lot of that exotic ass weed. A lot of these kids that's 20 and 25 and 19, man, they not dying from just heart attacks that young. I mean, they just dropping dead. In they sleep, not waking up, falling out dead, heart attack. You hear every week, you hear about somebody young dying, natural causes, death, like overdose. What is going on with these drugs? And I'm not here to tell y'all what to do or what not to do. Only thing I'm saying is y'all be cautious, because I can't, I was doing research on fentanyl. Like, how is everybody just overdosing? Is fentanyl not detectable? To my people in here that know something about that, who smoke that good green, is fentanyl detectable? Because it seemed like the way people is overdosing, like it don't have a smell or it don't have like a color. Like, what is this fentanyl? Is it a powder form? Is they spraying the fentanyl on the weed and on the drugs? Like, what? It's something going on with this weed with people. Like, it ain't registering. They slow, they zombies, they don't want to move. They just want to be on the phone all day and just sit on the phone. Like, y'all, come on now. I know it ain't me. I know it ain't me, Miss Cheryl. Can't be me. I think it's something to do with this weed, and not also the weed. It's the shit they injecting in this meat. This meat, like I tell you all the time, this meat, they putting all kind of shit in that meat. Honestly, it gotta be. It's the shit they putting in the food. We already know the water being tampered with. In the weed. I think the weed is like one of the big things that I did want to talk to y'all about. They smoking the pills. Sure, what you said? Sure said they smoking the pills. I don't know what it is, y'all. Hey Jay. Hey y'all. Cause I'm telling y'all, I'm just looking at them. I'm like, so I was asking my people. My girl told me, she was like, you know what? That makes sense because it's like you can't smell fentanyl. Like, really, what is fentanyl? I'm like, man, I don't know, but we got to make this make sense. Because I have to talk to the pipeline about this. I think it's coming to a point, y'all. If we don't take that vaccine, do y'all think they putting stuff in the weed? Because y'all know a lot of the ghettos around the world and the low-income poverty neighborhoods, those are the highest percentage rates of people who is not vaccinated. This is a fact. Minorities, ghettos, low-income poverty neighborhoods is the highest percentage of unvaccinated people around the world. So here's the thing, is they doing something to the weed and putting the fentanyl. This is just my opinion. We just talking. It's just an opinion. Is that a way for them to try to get the ones that's not vaccinated taken out with the weed if they don't get vaccinated? Like, I don't know, y'all. I'm just saying, it just, all these goddamn overdoses to all these people, and these kids is just dying like crazy. If it ain't to gun violence, it's from the fentanyl. Young and old. This is a worldwide epidemic with this fentanyl. And if you smoke weed, my people in here that smoke, y'all pay attention to that shit, because we need to do more research on this fentanyl and how is it getting in our communities. Like, is they dropping this shit? Is the higher ups dropping this weed off in the neighborhoods and it's coming from Mexico to these ghettos and it's laced with fentanyl? The dispensary weed, all them different strands of weed, is everybody really growing it like that? We know it can be grown. We know different weeds can be grown. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying, it just seemed like it's something going on with this fentanyl in our communities, and it's undetectable. It's undetectable. They putting it on everything. So that's some stuff that our people got to pay attention to if y'all smoking that good gas and all them different potent, different little flavors. Because I said, you know what, I'm going to find out. Girl, the Chinese make it up in Mexico. It's flooding our communities. It really is, y'all. And it's the kids, y'all. Y'all know the kids is our future. Man, these kids got some of the most strongest weed. Like my friends, they kids, they sons, they teenagers and stuff. They grown and all that. You know, some of them over there doing their thing. Man, these kids, they be high as shit off of this weed. Like, what y'all smoke? It got all these different names, all these different colors. Only thing they do is sit on goddamn social media all day and play video games. I'm like, it's manipulating the people. So I said, I'm going to do some research, because we hear about fentanyl. We all do. But I'm not educated the way that I should be on fentanyl. But after seeing all these overdoses, I said, you know what? I'm about to look into fentanyl and see what information I can give to the masses about this fentanyl, because it gotta be odorless. It gotta be odorless, because if it wasn't odorless, I mean, right? If it do gotta smell, people wouldn't smoke it. That's like everything gotta smell. Crack has its own smell. Heroin has its own smell. Meth have its own smell. Weed have its own smell. What the hell do fentanyl smell like? How do you detect what fentanyl smell like? Even the drug called wet. They call it wet. They call it woo. That has its own smell. I think fentanyl is the only thing that don't have a smell. Have y'all heard anything about fentanyl having a smell or having a color? Is it a spray? Is they putting it in a liquid form and spraying it on the drugs? Because this is something that we really do need to pay attention to, because I'm tired of seeing it's coming in the communities and it's coming fast. It seems like it's coming fast. These kids just ain't dropping. People in their 20s and 30s and 40s just ain't dropping off of just hitting no blunts. How is everybody overdosing? It's highly addictive. Yeah, very highly addictive. So we was talking about that, and I just found it very weird. And it was something else that I had wanted to talk to y'all about too over the weekend that passed. And it reminded me of Alicia Morrell. Rest in peace, Alicia Morrell. This weekend, I came across 3 stories, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, of African American women who was mother of 5. All these women had 5 children, and they all was tragically murdered due to gun violence. It reminded me of Alicia Morrell's story. And y'all know me and how I connect with the universe and how my mind works. I'm like, man, we know it's harvesting time. We talk about this all the time. But why is it that now a lot of the women is being murdered or kidnapped? Is it got something to do with the ovaries and the body parts, like I was saying? We all know with the LGBT and Lil Nas X, the agenda that they pushing with Lil Nas X. I'm not going to go too deep into this because I know this could go a lot of different ways. But let's just go back to the whole pregnancy and rebirthing, the shit he just did with the pregnancy thing. Are these women coming up missing for their ovaries and their uterus to implant them into these men that want to have babies? Come on, man. Let's not act like it ain't 2021 out here. Let's not act like this ain't what they trying to do. We just seen Bruce Jenner, toughest man in the world on the Wheaties box, completely transform into a whole woman. I'm not here to disrespect nobody's sexuality or what they do, but I'm saying let's not act like this ain't part of the agenda with our women coming up missing and getting killed. And all of a sudden, all these women with all these kids is coming up missing. I said, wait a minute, three days in a row, mothers of 5 just was dead 3 days in a row. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I shit y'all not. Y'all Google it. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think 2 girls was in Atlanta. 1 girl was in Atlanta. Don't forget, Alicia Morrell passed a few months ago. She was a mother of 5. Right after that, Friday, it was another girl who just got shot in Atlanta, mother of 5. I think a woman shot 3 other people, killed her. She was a mother of 5. And then the other girl in, was it Houston? Where was she at? She was killed by her dude. This girl was killed by her dude. But my thing is this. It's like, why is a lot of the women just vanishing? Y'all remember the Sierra Cole story? Y'all remember Sierra Cole? Beautiful young woman, mail carrier. Just disappeared, just vanished. She was pregnant. She just disappeared. Nobody to this day still knows where Sierra Cole is at. I think that was almost 2 years ago. Her story is still trending on YouTube and Google right now. You can go look that up, Sierra Cole. Beautiful young woman, just disappeared. Kenesha Jenkins, another one, Chicago. Hotel party, disappeared off camera, ended up in the freezer. They found the young boy, Kendrick, rolled up in the mat in the high school. Let's not forget about the young black man, I want to say his name, Kendrick, who they found rolled up in that mat in the school basketball gym with his organs missing, stuffed with newspapers. Nobody seen nothing, broad daylight in school. A public school. So let's not act like what I'm talking about is so far-fetched. It's 2021. They want them ovaries and them uteruses. All of that stuff. Like I tell you all the time about this stuff, this world is very wicked. But whatever happened to Lauren Hill, just to get back on subject, because y'all know sometimes I can veer. When I got stuff on my mind, I have to let it out. And sometimes I be all over the place. So y'all stick with me, but follow me. Listen to what I'm saying. Whatever happened with Lauren Hill and whatever she was exposed to in the industry, because we had already knew about the affair with her and Wyclef. Remember, she had the little thing going on with Wyclef. And matter of fact, let me bring this up too. Let's talk about since we talking about industry and Lauren Hill with Wyclef. The industry will come and match people up together in relationships. That's what they do. It's a whole PR run. It's all for publicity and numbers. These people don't even know each other, don't even got to like each other. The industry will put them together for money. It's strictly about money. Same thing happened with all of them. Kim and Kanye, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Cardi, Offset. The industry put them together. Nipsey Hussle did an interview and said, Nipsey Hussle, before he passed, I think this was an old interview way before he passed. They asked him, and it was just crazy how this question came out of nowhere. Y'all could go YouTube it. They asked Nipsey Hussle, if it's any woman in the industry that you would want to smash or be with, who would it be? His first one, he said Beyonce. He said, no disrespect. He said, no disrespect to Jay-Z. He said, he said, back then, when I was younger, he said, everybody loved Beyonce. I always wanted Beyonce. And then he said, number 2 would be Laura London. The industry knew he always wanted Laura London, and they ended up making it happen eventually. Same thing with Lauryn Hill. Guess what? Lauryn Hill was obsessed with Bob Marley. She loved Bob Marley. Bob Marley was her icon. Bob Marley was someone who she loved his music, his creative side, and everything. Guess what the industry go do? They go get his goddamn son, Bob Marley Jr., put him with Lauryn Hill. He ended up beating on her, getting her on heroin. Well, I don't know how that went. Was she doing it first? He doing it? I don't know. But they was on heroin. And then had all them kids with her. They had kids together and everything else. So I'm just saying how the industry, literally, when you sign them deals, your life is no longer your life. Your life is controlled by the labels, by the higher ups. Same thing that happened with Lil' Kim and Faith Evans. Biggie did want to be with Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim was in love with Biggie. But just because of who Lil' Kim was and who Biggie was, Lil' Kim was dark-skinned. Back then, everything was about yellow girls, light-skinned girls. That's why Lil' Kim is most definitely an icon. She broke a lot of barriers too, but that's a different story. But they put Faith Evans with Biggie just for numbers and sales. That shit looked at, it was odd then and it's odd now. Biggie and Faith Evans never looked right together. I don't care what y'all say. It was always odd as hell with them being together. It always seemed like he should have been with Lil' Kim. The whole world knew he was in love with Lil' Kim, just like we knew Lil' Kim was in love with Biggie. Same shit. Tupac. They tried to hook Tupac up with Quincy Jones' daughter in the end. I think they ended up getting married or something. I don't know how that went. Same thing with Janet Jackson. Bobby Brown hit Janet Jackson before. Bobby Brown had sex with Janet Jackson and had an affair with Janet Jackson. It's in Bobby Brown book. Every single step I take. I read Bobby Brown's book, and also it's in the movie, Bobby Brown movie. He had an affair with goddamn Janet Jackson, and turned out the Jackson Joe, the industry, didn't want her to be with him because of her image, and end up hooking her up with the DeBarge dude. Come on, man. This is listen to what I'm saying. This shit is a game and have always been a wheel. It's always been a 360 deal before we even started calling it a 360. Same thing. I'm just saying, y'all. Laura London, they set him up. He is the one that woke me up. Yeah. Nipsey Hussle, yeah. That's what I'm saying. They will take these celebrities and will put them in relationships for the people to put on this image for the world and have us thinking like they goals and shit. going to be behind the scenes. Yeah, it's a lot going on behind the scenes. Just for instance, look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. They still look weird to me together. I know they've been together forever. Everybody love them as a couple. I don't care for them as a couple. I really don't. I don't. I think they both full of shit. Jay-Z and Beyonce. I'm not gonna take nothing from the hustle and the creativity. You can't take nothing from them in that department when it comes to the business and the money. That's a fact. But when it comes to real love and real life situations and why the hell they hide them twins from us so goddamn long, Jay-Z do a lot of bullshit and Beyonce do too. Jay-Z stay cheating on her. There's nothing about they shit that's really real unconditional love. They both is damn near billionaires. They never around each other. They barely see each other. They do family shit like everybody else. But all that shit is an image. All that is an image. Jay-Z stay cheating on Beyonce. I mean, who gonna go somewhere? If you marry Jay-Z, any woman on here right now, if you marry Jay-Z, where you going? Who about to leave Jay-Z? Same thing with Beyonce. If any dude get Beyonce right now, they wouldn't give a damn if she cheated on whoever the hell with them. They ain't going nowhere. Where you going? When you tied up into that kind of money and them kind of business endeavors, they so deep involved with business, it'll hurt them to separate. They do better together, business, because it's all a business deal. Everything about their marriage is a business deal. Now, who I like as a couple is Remy Ma and Pap. I do. I fuck with Remy Ma and Pap. I love their relationship. And I also love Jenny Ma and Jeezy. I think them two couples right there, that I think they own some real love. I'm not going to go on the color thing. Love come in different shapes, sizes, and colors. But I like what Jenny Mae and Jeezy have. And I love what Remy Ma and Pap have. You're not going to find no man that holds you. I mean, I'm not saying they out there. But Pap rode that whole prison bid down with her. And then they finally had a kid together in the end when she came home. Beautiful. I think that's something they both have always wanted. I think that's what they both have wanted. But when it goes to the Lauryn Hill situation, I believe she was exposed to something. And whatever it was, I don't know, like, I think it's bigger than like orgies and mansion parties. Like, we all know about the industry doing all this like crazy shit. We know about the humiliation rituals. We know about the sacrifices. We know about the orgies. But I think it's something bigger that Lauryn Hill experienced that really scared her to a point where she was like, I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts. Whatever Lauryn Hill seen did something to her, which caused her to get addicted to heroin. To heroin, though. Lauryn Hill didn't smoke no cigarettes. I mean, I don't know if Lauryn smoked weed, but she wasn't no big drinker. She wasn't never in the party scene. You never really seen Lauryn Hill on red carpets and stuff. I mean, when she had her success going on with them 10 Grammys, yeah. But even after that, like, she never was in their circles. You never seen her sitting with them. You never seen Lauryn Hill doing nothing disrespectful. You never seen her, like, selling her body for sexuality. She was always on some, like, to me, like, Black Power type stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, with her activism work, it seemed like she was just on her she on a different type of time. And whatever she was exposed to, if y'all seen the video what we just watched, we could see how having everything and losing it all and trying to get it back, how the industry was completely spin you around in a 360 and you would lose your whole identity and who you was. Looking at her in this video that I wanted to show y'all, because I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to show y'all that video. Devil worshiping is not for everyone. Right. Yep, that's what it was. I really do, y'all. I think they wanted her to do like some demonic rituals or like some witchcraft stuff or something like that. And I think she was like, nah, I ain't with it. And then with her not being with it, they try to hit her with the IRS. Like, how they hit her, like Lauryn Hill, how long did Miseducation come out, y'all? Lauryn Hill was that's like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, Miseducation? And they just hit her with the IRS shit last year. Was it 2018 or 2019 when they was like, oh, she going to jail for not filing her taxes? It was 98. That's what I'm saying, Jay. Look, 98. And then they wait to 2018, 2019, because don't forget, y'all, she had did that, I'm about to try to pull up another video. Do y'all remember when she did that special on BET and it was called Get Out? Matter of fact, I might see if I can find it. See, this is why I be getting copyright strikes. But, like, if y'all remember, and it was something else, it was this one right here. I'm about to show y'all real quick. And she was telling people, like, get out the industry. It's a whole bunch of devils over there, and don't sell your soul. And I don't even think it really did too good. I think it was like on MTV Unplugged or something like that. But it was like they really didn't broadcast it or promote it for people to listen to it, to watch it. But it still hit the internet like a wildstorm back then.
I think that I'm not just a part of just hip hop. I think I'm a part of greater just music in general. Now we on some new stuff. I never been to cool. We're all individual. We're all unique, and we all have individual philosophies. Sometimes, you know, when the image is too clean, people always want to try and taint it. I try to explain. I want the public to know that I'm a real person. I know what it is that I want, you know what I mean, and I want to see it.
What she said, when I gotta stop it, y'all, because YouTube stuff. But like she said, when the image is too clean, they try to taint it. Look at Lauryn Hill when all of this was going on in her career. Look how beautiful and vibrant she was versus to that speech that we just watched. That was last year, that speech she just did. How could you go from this to that? The industry did. She saw some stuff. She completely scared her to death. She don't want no parts.
Reached. The miseducation of Lauryn Hill is, you know, at first it kind of throws people, you know what I mean, because they automatically think it's about me being miseducated. But miseducation is actually, it's like a metaphor for actually being re-educated, unlearning some bad things, you know what I mean, some things that I may have perceived to be the truth, you know what I mean, that actually weren't. It really has a lot to do with personal evolution and personal growth, and really understanding that there are things that society teach us, which are like general pieces of information, you know, just for the general public, and there are things that are extremely important for us to individually learn, you know what I'm saying, just as far as...
This is what I'm saying, y'all. This is what I was telling y'all about. A lot of this stuff we was taught as kids. It's wrong. It's a lot of lies that we was fed. Even in our history books, a lot of that shit is not real actual events that happen. So that's why she was saying, and she's still speaking in code, because she know them people is watching her and listening to her. But if you pay attention, she speaks in code. She like, you need to do your own research and find the truth. Because once you see what you find and what you come up on, you got to cipher it for yourself and as an adult. But you got to get to the truth, and you got to live in your truth. It's the fact.
Just personal relationships with other people, personal relationships with God, you know, just the way in which we should live our lives. Check this where boots and clothes and see what they boots now. That's the surface. And no one me got a head full of problems in the hand full of nappy roots. We're all individual, we're all unique. And we all have individual philosophies and ways, you know what I mean, in which we're living life. And, you know, I'm 23 years old now, you know what I mean, I'm grown up just a little bit. So it's like, you know, my miseducation took place, a lot of it in the bright lights and you know, of the music industry.
Did y'all see the look on her face when she said that? Wait a minute, did y'all see the look on her face when she said the industry? And she rolled her eyes. Did y'all see that? I was like, what? See, y'all, it's like if you pay attention to like her body language and how she talked, She trying to give us a message. She always a teacher. Lauryn Hill is a natural born teacher. She is a scholar. So she always trying to educate us and give us messages and clues and gems that'll really help us out if you really trying to empower yourself and better yourself and you seeking knowledge.
Rolling with the dough, but I different home alone. See, life's got no value if I ain't got no statue. Hell, the ball.
You still get the chills listening to her,
Basically,
Cheryl.
when I started this, first of all, I was still in high school.
She nice.
And I was just happy to be down. You know what I'm saying? I was just happy to be doing it. I was real naive. You know what I mean? There was a lot that I didn't know about. There were a lot of unspoken things that happened. Not just in the music industry, but just the world in general that I was unaware of because I was, 16 years old. You know what I mean? Just happy to be in the studio and singing and making music. MC, you better watch out for your kid truck.
Hey, y'all, I used to have a lot of hats like them. I used to love them hats back in the day. Them hats, you had one of them, you was a whole thing.
We came a long way. We went from having an album that didn't do, incredibly
Hold on, y'all, let me trade it
and
up.
outside the hip hop world. I heard he sang.
Hey.
I heard he had a style. If anything, I'm trying to get, I'm trying to broaden hip-hop parameters, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, allow us to be more sensitive and talk about real issues and, express our feelings about relationships in a realistic sense as opposed to a material or a monetary way, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Music, y'all, it's the music. Man, I love Lauryn Hill. Did y'all hear what she said? Don't sell out in a material way. It's not in a material way or a monetary gain. A monetary gain. Just a temporary. You don't want to do it for a temporary. If you want to do something, you want to put your all into it, put passion into it. You grow it, you learn it, and you master it. Once you master it, it most definitely will bring you some kind of profit. If you just live in your truth.
It is ego-driven, but I'm not an ego-driven person, so yeah, I think that sets me apart right there. But I do hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely a hip-hopper. Yo, can't no other in the barrier. From north to Ontario, we in stereo. Cause me, you rock the battle. Since apparent you're no talent, cause you're blazing and you're sad. My world, it moves so fast today. The past, it seems so...
Do y'all think she was with Wyclef during this time? Right, because she was. It was during the Fuji they was together. It sure was. Oh, yeah.
To the fellas in the group. And, I listened to all that stuff, and I thought that was so deep, because I was just like, wow. I was like, it really made me realize, it actually humbled me. You know what I mean? For a minute, I was upset, and I was like, well, that's not true, and, I've got to be out there proving myself, but that's silly to me. I surround myself with family because I understand that this could very well be temporary. You know what I mean? People will love you tomorrow, will love you today, and tomorrow will be a whole other thing. So,
period.
But my family is persistent. You know what I mean? That they're constant.
We need Lauryn Hill, the most.
My family,
yes, I wish she would come back so bad, y'all.
They keep me humble and they keep me real.
She on a different type of time.
Because at the same time, this is a business, and you want efficiency. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, with family, it's like, oh man, supposed to bring those tapes at 9 o'clock, but you still love them. You know what I mean? And you understand that, even in this world of money and all other types of stuff, that family is really important.
Family is everything. That's what it's about. Y'all see, everything she talk about is not non-material. Like she said, it's all about family. Life ain't about nothing else but unconditional love and loving on your people. Loving on your people, unconditional love. And I think everybody want to experience it. And some people never experienced it. And that's why a lot of people is really falling into a lot of these sunken places and depression. Because everybody want to feel part of something. Everybody want to feel love.
surrounded by love. So I never had any voids, any empty spaces as far as like attention, you know what I'm saying, and love. And it wasn't until later that I started to meet people who, you know, didn't grow up with the same security, you know what I'm saying, and the same sense of love and affection that I grew up with. And I saw how it affected them, you know what I'm saying, and it really made me think about how blessed I was to be born into the family that I was born into.
Absolutely. This was my jam, y'all. This was my... Because you was looking for a friend.
I was off the hook when I was young. That's the first thing. I was extremely dramatic. I was just one of those kids that used to like eat potato chips in the mirror and try to do plays outside on the block, and used to be behind my house in the back lot of the projects on the mattress flipping because the boys thought the girls who could flip were cute. You know, it was all that type of stuff.
She's so pretty, Lauren. Yeah.
And you know, I always, you know, when they used to say like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I used to be like, actress, singer, doctor. You know, I always had like a long list of careers, and I think I always thought that I was capable to do them all, and just pursued everything at the same time. Girls, you know.
Starseed qualities. Shout out to the Starseed. Shout out to the chosen one. Did y'all hear what she just said? She had many different crafts. She wanted to do this. She wanted to do that. She wanted to be this. So instead of picking one thing, she just went after all of them at one time and ended up achieving pretty much everything she wanted to do. She got her doctrines, I believe. I think she got her doctrines or one of them. I want to say it's her doctrines. But it's like everything she wanted to do. She like, you know what? I'm going to just do everything at once. Instead of just being a rapper, I might as well sing too. Instead of singing, I might as well write my own music, rap and sing. Not only that, she could play instruments. Why hire people to play instruments when I could play them myself? Building your resume. Learning your crafts, tapping into the unknown.
And I want to see the fullest potential of whatever it is that I'm doing. You know, I want to see us reach that level.
Starseed quality.
I just think that we all wear many hats. I think we're all just dynamic people. You know, and to think that you can't do something to me is real limiting. You know what I mean? I think that we're all capable of doing many different things. We just tend to sell ourselves short, you know, out of fear, I guess. You know,
absolutely.
Fear of failure, fear of disappointment, or disappointing someone. But you gotta kind of take a chance with yourself, because that's how you know your parameters, and that's how far you can take it, is if you do try to take it.
Great advice. Great advice.
I think motherhood has influenced my life. You know what I'm saying? Just in general. I always say that Zion had the most to do about my miseducation, because it was like he revived me. You know what I mean? He it's like God sent him to revive my spirit. Zion. Having my son, man, it was like the most humbling thing, but I had never been in love like that before. You know what I'm saying? It gave me this renewed spirit about life and love and everything. And there were a lot of people who were very skeptical and discouraging, just because I was young and, you know what I mean, my career was thriving at the time. And I had been one of those people up until that point who would make a lot of decisions for other people. You know, would put other people's feelings before my own. And having Zion was really one of the first decisions that I made, which made me happy.
The word got out that you were pregnant. Mm-hmm. It sort of set off
nuts.
Witch hunt.
Yeah, it did. And I thought that was nuts too. I thought it was crazy only because I'm real honest and real personal in song and lyric. And there are certain things that I just reserve, you know what I mean, for my own self, for my private life. And I kind of, not one of those artists that, you know, I'm not rolling around in the rooms, you know what I'm saying, talking about how I'm different or what sets me apart from the rest of the community. I'm trying to show the rest of the community how I'm just like you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, just like nobody else, just like other people wouldn't want, people prying into their private lives. I'm the same way. I mean, I'm just a regular person. And
she's so humble, y'all. Like,
I think my fans
she's so humble.
Incredible. I think the people, it's like the support that I have. A lot of people see me on the streets and they treat me like a sister. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't mean like a soul sister, but I mean like, what's up, boy? You know what I mean? Like they really know me, and it's and I also hear a lot of encouraging words, like things that I say they may be able to relate to or they feel encouraged by, and that's a beautiful feeling, man. Baby girl, you're still a flower. Sometimes the press.
I remember Lauryn Hill being in that. Who was that? Jill Scott. Who was that, Joe? That Jill Scott. Love her energy. Me too, Jay. Love her energy.
Well, I think that with you, and I guess individuals like you,
we need more like her. More like her, man.
But you know what's amazing though? You can always find someone who tries to find it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we're all humans. You know what I mean? We're all flawed. No one's perfect. But we're out here doing our best and trying hard. And for some reason, when you put your soul and your music out there to the public, for some reason your everything, you know what I'm saying, becomes like public access, you know what I mean? And sometimes, when the image is too clean, people always want to try and taint it.
Hey, y'all, listen, hold up, y'all. We got to go down memory lane tonight. If you're watching this, man, hit the like button. What was y'all doing in your life when this came out? When this came out, man, everybody was happy. Like when she dropped with the Fuji, we was on a different type of time back then. It was so much love and unity within the families. We still had our big mamas living, our great uncles. Life was beautiful around this time.
It's not that I strive to be a positive role model, but I just strive to be myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really doing this to please anyone but God, And sometimes, when you choose a side, particularly God's side, you automatically will have enemies. You automatically have opponents, people who would rather see you fall and rise. So you have to be careful.
Would you say that was part of the agenda that you had with your album?
Is to bring God into the agenda? Yes, definitely. I think that not enough people praise him.
Wait, somebody just commented. Who is that? Jay. It was the best era. Listen, did y'all hear when he said, just now when he asked her, he was like, was that the agenda when you dropped your album? See the word that he used? Agenda. Like her leaving and coming back, was it part of the plan? Listen to what she said.
The Bible was extremely relevant to me. People started to have faces. Things started to make sense. Psalms were comforting. You know what I'm saying? Words of wisdom and encouragement that really got me through some rough times. So if I could
spread
that information to people and have them find that same comfort and that same peace and that same encouragement, then
hold up. Now, like she just said, now this probably was around the time when she was about ready, where her mind was probably already made up, like, I'm about to drop this album and I'm out of here. Because if you notice when he said, was that your agenda by bringing God into your album? Because if y'all notice, her son name was Zion. She got a song called Zion. She had a lot of religious stuff in her album, The Miseducation. When you go against the demonic forces of the industry and you start bringing God into the equation, that's when you kind of start double backing on the oath. Because everything they do is to mock Christianity. Everything about over there is to mock Christianity. It's only one person I think who was able to ever make a Jesus song and it actually did good, was that Kanye West. Jesus walked. A lot of people can't dabble. You can't cross that line with them with Christianity and praising God when they over there worshiping the devil. Totally against the oath, totally against the sacrifice shit, totally against what they that's not what they is. That's not what they into. You can't bring God over here and try to inspire people and do great without us playing a part in whatever it is that we want you to do for us. If we let you do that and talk about changing people's lives and talk about God is good and this and that and the other, oh, you gonna have to do something. Whatever they wanted her to do, she wasn't with it. She was like, I want out. Look at her face expression as she talked, y'all. Pay attention.
That's definitely what I want to do because I don't make any bones about it. He gets all the glory. It's not about me. I'm out there trying to show people that, like I was saying earlier, that I'm, the multi-hat wearer and I'm so dope. It's not about that. It's, because I know that I'm able to do what I'm able to do because he enables me to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just me bringing out this message because he chose to give me the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Not because I'm better than you or better than him or better than her, but because he gave me the power and the strength and the inspiration. I want the public to know that I'm a real person and I feel the same pain and the same disappointment and the same joy and I get excited about the same things. And but that there's hope, you know what I'm saying? And God is great. And that my music is for them. You know what I'm saying? You're just too good to be true. Can't take my
This is my jam too. I love all her music. She got some bangers.
I wanna hold you so much. And long last love has arrived. And I thank God I'm alive.
So y'all, that's what it was, y'all. I'm gonna take y'all off of here now. So y'all, that's just what I wanted to tell y'all about Lauryn Hill. I mean, I just wanted to bring her story to y'all because I found it very fascinating and very interesting. Just about her whole experience within her personal life, where she at in life now, where she came from, and still where she going to this day, because she's still making a lot of big moves behind the scenes. Just because we don't see her in our eye and in the public and all on TV, you welcome, Miss Cheryl, anytime. She's steady doing legendary things, because ain't no question when it comes to Lauryn Hill credibility. She most definitely is an icon, most definitely is a legend, and continually is doing legendary things behind the scenes that we don't even know about. Now she dedicate her life to her children and activism. She does a lot of speeches. I mean, she still do shows and stuff. They always talk about her being late. I know y'all always heard that too, right? Like they always talk about her being late. But anyways, because I'm always late, so I get her though. I get her. But y'all stay tuned, man. Y'all keep your eyes on Lauryn Hill. If y'all can catch one of her speeches, like I said, she's very informative, very intelligent, very motivational and inspirational as well. So when we cover these, our people, our icons, our legends, the people that we love, we got to always remember them for who they are, how great they are. Don't let the media taint and brainwash us and have us thinking that these educated people is crazy and losing their mind, strung out on drugs, they MIA. They did the same thing with Cat Williams. Cat Williams is very educated. Very educated. Tiffany Haddish is another one who the media try to make it seem like she's slow and this and that. Tiffany Haddish is very educated. Very educated. Has a great conversation, great intellect, very informative, especially when it comes to these kids. Tiffany Haddish does great work with the kids and the children in low income neighborhoods. She's good with she has a lot of stuff going on with adoption agencies and stuff where she like I don't know if she have a foundation, I would want to say too, but she does a lot of work with the kids. I think like teenagers and adolescents, toddlers. She's real good with kids, but don't let the media brainwash us with our great people, our icons, our legends, and have us tainted as if these people has completely went crazy, lost their mind. Ain't nothing wrong with Cat Williams, just like ain't nothing wrong with Lauryn Hill. Ain't nothing wrong with these people. Look at Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker totally walked away from everything. Same thing. It's these higher ups and a lot of different people that's running that try to control these people as puppets. And when you being controlled by a higher power, it will cause you to go into drugs heavy, go into alcoholism. That's why we have a lot of our greats and icons overdosing, strung out, alcoholism, because of they constantly is being controlled. We seen Britney Spears act out, flip out, turn around. She got a whole situation going on, more than what we ever knew. So y'all got to pay attention to these celebrities. And I think sometimes it's people with technology and social media. I think we put these people and worship them in all the wrong ways. Y'all got to really read between the lines with the messages that they is spreading to our people, especially our kids in our community. For instance, I'm going to talk about Future real quick, because this still blows me out. Future plays a big part with this epidemic and these perks and all these drugs. I don't care what nobody say. Future came out, and I'm not saying people wasn't on drugs already, so I'm not going to just say Future is the blame, but I'm saying when he came out with all that Molly, perk, Papa Molly, Papa perk, everybody damn near got strung out. Between Gucci Mane era with them ecstasy pills, when Gucci was out before he went to jail, all that ecstasy era, when they brought that in, like in the late 90s, early 2000s with them ecstasy pills, and then here they come after Gucci Mane, hit us with Future, he on Molly, perk pills. And do y'all know the whole time Future didn't drink or smoke? The whole time he's selling this shit to the community and to the people. I'm not a big fan of Future. I never have been. I love the beats. He got some nice beats. But when it comes to the message and the lyrics, I think he spits a lot of poison to the youth. I do. All that popping perks and mollies and lean, and then you putting this shit out here and you don't drink, smoke, do pills, molly, or nothing. Future bamboozled the whole world for a goddamn check. He sure did. He did not do none of that shit. Syrup, lean, molly, none of that shit. Future is sober. I don't know if he drink now, but the interview he did years ago when he was first hot, and I seen that interview, and he said he didn't do Molly perk pills. He was sober and didn't smoke weed. I lost respect for him after that. I said, he done came and got the whole world damn near strung out off of this perk, epidemic, Molly, syrup, lean, and the whole time he ain't do nothing and was completely sober. The whole time he was selling this poison to the people. I can't respect the people y'all respect, certain ones. I don't be respecting that. T.I. I don't have no respect for T.I. either. I don't care about his personal life. My thing is this: you can't come home and you doing all this trap shit, and then you go to jail, get knocked with all these pistols, should have did all this time. You come home, do a day, you tell on everybody, his security guard, man, but he's a hero? How? How is that heroic? I get people do change their life, and I'm not saying they don't. People can't change. But the people who we give these flowers to, I don't think they be deserving them. Because I'm really real with this shit called life. I'm really into trying to help my people, uplift my people, and build them. Why would you continue to spit poison into the communities, into our young black men, our youth, and our young women, when these is our future? A brain is a terrible thing to waste. We say that all the time. So when they get addicted to these drugs as teenagers and they become young adults, the chemical imbalance is already in place upstairs. So the screws is already, they unscrewed already. And that's saying they can't get them tightened back up with the right support system, the right love, and everything else that come with showing these kids support and showing them it's a better way. You don't have to do this way. But the media is frequency. all that brain frequency with that demonic ass music, and then the weed playing a part, and the people who the masses got in these high positions, the Megan Thee Stallions, the Cardi B's, the twerk girls, then we got the trap boy. It's all spitting out. It's creating monsters. It's creating monsters in all ages and all races. This is a huge problem, and it's gonna take more people to just start stepping up. If you are OG and you claiming you OG, it's time to step up. It's really time to step up and talk to the youth and to the young ones that's looking up to us for guidance. Because if we leaving up to social media and TV to teach our kids and sending them to school and thinking that's it, they going to school, they learning something. Man, y'all got to teach y'all kids at home. Y'all got to instill education, and you have to also tell your kids about real street life. What's on the other side of this? You have to keep these kids alert. I ain't saying you got to go about scaring them and shaking them up. But in this era right here, you don't want your kids going out here blind. You can't have your kids going out here blind. True, not saying feed it to them, but how social media throwing it in their face, and you ain't, and it's a lack of parenting at home. Come on, man, it's creating monsters. It's creating monsters. Too many of them dying and going to jail. Like, will this be a cycle that we could slow down? Because we know it ain't going to stop. So, like we say, you can't say stop the violence. You know, we could say stop the violence, but we know it's not going to stop. If anything, we could try to slow it down. Slow it down. Talk to some of the youth, because we got a lot of rappers and singers. I think we need to push these kids in another direction besides going to the industry. Our kids and people have a lot of creative talents, and the industry is not the way to go. We got enough goddamn rappers. We got enough goddamn singers. It's enough twerkers and dancers, and, you know, put them in gymnastics. Look what she doing. Cora in the Olympics. Look at her. Young black girl doing her thing. You know, she's still learning. She making mistakes. She young. But she still is in a good position, and the right people stay around that young lady, clean her whole image up and get her right back on track where she could be and be the next Simone Biles. Because the way she going, she is looking really good for that young lady. It's looking really good. You could tell she just lost her grandmother. I mean, it's so much talent and potential. And that's all I really try to get y'all to realize, though, just about creativity. Y'all tap into the unknown, man. Y'all pull yourself up by the bootlaces, by the straps, and really get out here and really try to determine what you want to do with your life. What you want for yourself and your kids. Because this shit with the industry, they steady pumping the drugs and they pumping the violence. All this shit is tied up with politicians. It's a lot politician, body parts, the music industry. It's a whole bunch of corruption. It's a whole bunch of corruption. But we are in control of our life. We don't have to go out that way. Everybody don't have to have a bad outcome. You don't have to speed your time up on this shit called life. Enjoy it. Make good memories. Quit chasing the shit that don't mean nothing. Put it in the bank. Sit on it. Invest it. Put it into yourself. Put it into your craft. Because whatever you do, you got to take it serious. And don't take it lightly. We in the pandemic. And it's about to get cold. Man, let me tell y'all something. I know 3 girls who kids that got COVID in the last 30 days. 3 girls. All their kids is under 10. Has COVID. This COVID shit is not a game. I don't know if, I'm not here to say get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated. Everybody gonna do what the hell they want to do when it comes to that. Only thing I'm saying is take it serious. The Delta variant, the COVID, that shit is serious. There's a lot of y'all still out here thinking it's a game. It's about to get cold outside. I got 3 girls, their kids got COVID under the age of 10. It kind of shook me up because I'm like, damn, the kids, like, I didn't heard stories around the world like, okay, well, the kids, they trying to get the mask in the school, you know, kids, they can't get, we don't know if the kids, but to actually finally know people who kids have COVID, it's an eye opener for me. It most definitely is. I'm gonna just take extra precautions because, of course, all our kids are in school. I mean, we got to keep living our lives. Things do got to keep going. Got to go to work, got to go to school. People got to do what they got to do, to handle their business and pay their bills. But y'all just be safe and just take extra precaution because it's about to get cold. Flu season is back. We have a little stuff going on with the ones that's vaccinated and people who not vaccinated. People is catching COVID again. And the cases is going up. So y'all be safe, man. Y'all make sure y'all go back to I ain't saying go overboard crazy, but whatever you choose to do to prepare for this winter, wherever you at. Y'all, even if it ain't winter wherever you at, if you somewhere else and y'all hot all year round, whatever, still just be safe. It just ain't the time right now to really do a lot of extra traveling. It's really not the time to really be like kicking it amongst a whole bunch of people. Just watch your surroundings. Watch where you sitting at. Watch people hygiene. You know what I'm saying? Like this COVID stuff is something that's I'm not gonna say like I'm not scared of COVID. I'm not scared of the COVID or nothing like that. I just feel like ain't nothing wrong with just being cautious. You know what I'm saying? Just be cautious because it's some things it's just out of our control. You can try to cover up the best you can and do whatever and still end up possibly catching it. I mean, it just this thing is a different thing that changed the world. It's something that we ain't never experienced as citizens. You know what I mean? As Americans, we've never we had the Spanish flu, we had the H1N1. Y'all remember that? What's another one? We done had a lot of different things, but I don't think the world has ever experienced nothing like this before. This is something different. Do I think the world will be the same? I think depending on your lifestyle. You know what I mean? Be safe, my people. COVID is the biggest money game. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then y'all know what too, like we was talking about with the body parts. Did all these people die from COVID? You know what I'm saying? Like all these record-breaking numbers or all these casing the people. Is this all a money game with insurance policies? Once again, we talk about the insurance policies. We talk about the body parts. Is all it is, we know people is dying. That's a fact. People is dying from COVID, and my condolences to anybody who have lost someone who has passed from COVID, first of all. So I'm not joking with it, but I'm just saying like it's just a lot of stuff with this vaccine and this worldwide epidemic that I think it shook everybody up. I think everybody's lives has changed to some degree. If not major, some type of change happened, I think, in everybody's life around the world, But what can we do? I mean, we can't just lock ourselves in and not go into society because your body needs, like I tell you all the time, they tell y'all stay in the house and stuff. Do what you got to do. But as humans, our bodies is made to, you need natural sunlight. You need to be outside and around trees, even if you're around people. We need oxygen. It's certain things that the body just cannot be deprived of. I don't care how long you stay in the house. You stay in the house too long, you will come out with some issues. Our bodies was not created. It was not designed that way to just sit in the house for months at a time. Don't come outside. It wasn't set up like that. You know what I'm saying? Your immune system is made to fight off infections. Our bodies is made to fight off infections to some degree, but I do believe it's a cure for everything. I do. I believe it's a money game with the pharmaceutical too. They're not going to release them cures and all that. This is America. This is the United States of America. It is a cure for everything. This is a money game. Like those masks covering up your mouth and nose. They got all the different masks too. I mean, why you feel like the mask is not a good thing? I love the mask. I'm not going outside. I don't know about y'all. My confidence ain't through the roof like that yet to go outside without no mask. I'm not doing it. No. Pay attention. Because listen, I seen because y'all know I be into my little documentaries and my little research. But I had seen, I don't know if y'all seen this or whatever. It was on Facebook about the plastic part across the white. Jay Banks said, I keep my mask. Right? Listen, Jay, I keep about 5 of them. You hear me? Listen, no, but I don't know if y'all seen this about the girl. It was on Facebook. It came out like when the COVID first came out, like that. It's a long time ago. But the girl was in her living room and she pulled the plastic part. Y'all know the part that go across the nose in the mask that make you fold, the fold part across the nose. Where the girl was in the living room and she pulled the plastic piece out because you inhale and exhale for a reason, Cheryl. Yeah, you do. You do. So do y'all think the mask weaken the respiratory system? Like is what you saying, breathe in and out. Is like, especially I know it's hard for the people who have asthma. If y'all in here and y'all got asthma, comment y'all experiences with wearing the mask. The mask. Do it make you feel like you want to have a panic attack after a long period of time with the mask? I know people who have very bad asthma, but I never bothered to ask them like the experiences with their mask and how they feel. But the girl was basically saying the plastic part in the mask that go across the nose is what's causing COVID, is what's giving people COVID, is the plastic part. I don't know if this is real. This was just viral on the internet, so I watched it and stuff. But she did like a little video and put it out and was telling people, if you wear it, take the plastic out that go across the nose. She said it's only in the blue and white ones. Y'all know the ones that's common that everybody have, the white ones. I can't do it. I get all hot and start sweating. That's how you feel when you put it on. Right, because I always wondered that, like with people who do have breathing problems, like say you have breathing problems already, right? And then you have to go out in public and wear this mask. And because you walking. When you walking, you get short-winded on just walking, depending on how far you walking and where you going, how fast you walking, right? You could lose your breath as you walk it out and about. So if you already have existing breathing problems and then you have to wear this mask, I was just wondering how difficult that was. But y'all, they do got many different masks. Like they got the ones that got like the holes on the side. You could put the filters in and out of them. I done seen a lot of different masks. They got the N95. I like the N95 mask, but you just got to keep washing them over and over. I had 3 of them. I had to keep washing them, and then I got tired of washing it. That was when the epidemic first started. And then after that, I just started wearing regular masks after that. Like, I got so many different kinds. Doctors only wear those during surgery so they don't give anything to the patient. Right. I had got mine from a girl that's a nurse. Through my people. Like, I ended up getting some from her. Because that's how it was. The girls that was working in the hospitals, do y'all remember when they ran out of N95 masks? Because the medical workers started taking them for their own personal use. And some people was selling them as a hustle. So then they started locking the mask up. Do y'all remember that? Then they started asking other countries and people to donate because we was having a shortage on the mask. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, I remember that. So it's like this, and then I had watched some, y'all, where the lady was saying, like, she was a retired nurse. Well, it wasn't that she was retired. She was just leaving. I guess she got overwhelmed with working in the hospital with the COVID or something. She said she was overwhelmed or whatever. But the lady said, she was like, how these people lungs look. She said how the lungs look of a patient that has COVID look like they fell off a 100-foot cliff. She said, it ain't no way possible. She said, it has to be something else, and they just calling it COVID. That's what she said. She said, then they putting the respirators in them, which is making their lungs over pump harder, where it's killing them because the respiratory is too strong. It's too powerful for the lungs. That's what she said. She said, it ain't no way. She said, it got to be something else. They just calling it COVID. She said, ain't no way all these people, lungs coming in here, look like that in that short amount of time from when they enter the hospital. So I was just listening to her and peeping at it. I'm like, wow. She like look like they fell from 100-foot cliff. That's how much damage is done to the lungs. And I don't know how long she was dealing with COVID patients, but she said from the time they came in, I guess up until they passed, the amount of damage that was done to their lungs, she just felt like it was a cover up. She was speaking out against COVID. Like it is something else, but they just calling it this. And then she said it was people who just came in who didn't have COVID, but she had to put COVID on the paperwork. Y'all, you go, man, this shit is on the internet. Like everything I talk about is public information. Most of the things I discuss with y'all, I like for y'all to like follow up on it if y'all can, do your own research. And just put together whatever y'all think. Y'all know what y'all think it is or whatever you learn or discover in your research. But that's what she said. She said they get paid that's what they supposed to do. She said it don't always be COVID. The world is so scared. They have pushed so much fear with this COVID. It's like people scared to cough in public. I didn't see people scared to cough in public, scared to sneeze because they thinking people gonna think they got COVID. It's like the human body goes through many different things. Just because you feel a certain type of way or sick, that don't mean everybody got COVID. People still got bad allergies. People still have flu symptoms. People still have common colds. Everything is not related to COVID. Like, soon as somebody say they sick, first thing you think is they got COVID. I'm guilty of that. My girl, her throat was sore the other day. She like, I'm going to the emergency room. I instantly thought she had COVID symptoms. That is just, it's the fear that they pump in us too. So soon as she said it, I'm like, what's wrong with you? But in my head, I'm like, I hope she ain't got COVID. You know what I mean? But that's the first thing you think because the only thing we hear is COVID, 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 Delta variant, COVID, 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 COVID. So now everything you pretty much see somebody do that is like a sign of a sneeze or a cough or sickness, you instantly just think it's COVID. And that's crazy. Ain't that crazy to think like that though? It's crazy. Like your body still gonna have other stuff wrong with it. People still have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. If you're not feeling good, please don't be afraid to go to the hospital. It is not worth dying. It is not worth dying because you think these people gonna tell you got COVID. You go in there, they've been and told you got a stomach flu. Don't quit playing with yourself. Don't let the media have y'all so scared to go to the doctor and get checkups. If you got COVID, you think you got COVID, man, go get tested. It's free, y'all. They ain't charging us to get tested. Now, in the vaccine, I ain't going to speak on that, to each his own. But I'm talking about far as the fear that they pushing and the fear of people don't want to go to the hospital because they think they may have COVID. And it ain't even got to be that. You probably just can't breathe because you got bronchitis. And you see what I'm saying, y'all? Like, you can have bronchitis. You didn't know it because you never had breathing problems before. You go to the doctor, they're like, we gonna give you an inhaler. You got bronchitis. The whole time you scared to goddamn death that you got COVID. Come on, y'all, quit playing. I'm just saying, like, don't we be like that, though? Like, oh, man, if it don't get right, oh, I feel horrible. If it don't get right, I'm going to the doctor Friday. Your ass better go to the doctor that goddamn day. Don't fuck around and be on your deathbed because you scared to go find out you fucking got the flu. Come on, y'all. It just don't make sense. All this fear they pushing, don't fall for it. I'm not saying don't be smart. Be safe. Do what you got to do to be safe when you go into society. But don't be so scared to give your mama a hug because you ain't seen her in 2 months because you think she got COVID. It's too much fear. You supposed to congregate. You supposed to love on your people. Be cautious. But get all that fear out your goddamn head. God did not bring us this goddamn far to let you pass from not breathing in 10 seconds. No. You can have a panic attacks. People is scaring themselves to death where they literally have panic attacks and think they got COVID. You just panicking and working yourself up. My heart racing real fast. You panic. Ain't nothing wrong. Why you think you got COVID? Because I can't breathe. You just walked up 2 flights of stairs. Yeah, you right. Quit playing. Y'all quit being so goddamn scared and get out here and do what you got to do. Thank y'all for coming in here. I appreciate y'all time. I'm going to get out of here. And I do have some words for Mr. Williams' family. And I am going to speak on Mr. Sincere McIntyre. Rest in peace, Boog the Bandit. Somebody in Mr. Williams' family has some words for me. So we're going to address that on the next video. I'm not about to even address it in this video because it's not that serious to me. But I got to welcome them to the pipeline so they can have a seat and understand what's going on because y'all know how I am. I don't have no filter. I try to be respectful. I really do. But when it comes to real life situations, I don't beat around the bush when it comes to the truth. And that's what I'm not going to play with Mr. Williams' family. So I don't know if this is his auntie. I don't know if it's his mom. I don't know who she is. But she let it be known she from Mr. Williams' side. So I'm actually happy to actually bring her to the pipeline and give her some attention because my thing is it's about time somebody from his side of the family spoke out. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, it's about time somebody spoke out on Mr. Williams' side because everybody has came to the pipeline. Everybody. We done had sincere people come. Mr. McIntyre people has came to the pipeline. We had Boog the Bandit's family come to the pipeline. MJ people came to the pipeline. And we also had Mr. Lockhart's people come to the pipeline. So it's only right that we welcome the Williams family on in so we can give them a front seat and a dose of how we feel about what's going on with their relative. So I'm not gonna hold back. I do got the receipts already ready to go for my next live. So I might come at y'all tomorrow or it may be the day before. It will be at night because y'all know I got to make sure the house is quiet so I can talk to y'all or I'll be doing other stuff where I can't talk to y'all. But this one is going to be one that y'all don't want to miss because it's a lot of things that I've been wanting to say about Mr. Williams and Mr. McIntyre. I just felt like it was just only appropriate when I had somebody in their family attention because it's a lot of things that I didn't want to discuss about Mr. Williams and Mr. McIntyre just because I was waiting for foot movement from that side to really express their feelings on what happened with their relative in the Boog the Bandit situation. So she called me out. So we're going to go ahead and give her what she looking for, but in a very respectable way. Because y'all know everything I do is about respect. But the truth is the truth. And a lot of people don't like the truth. And that's what this is over here. My subs is very loyal. Like, I love my pipeline subs. And I ride for them. And I had a back to the fullest. Because my pipeline is the truth. When they send me them receipts, man, my people, they not making nothing up. On top of, I follow up with the shit my pipeline sent me. So whatever they talking about, we gonna address it. Y'all ain't gonna want to miss this one, man. Justice for Boog. R.I.P. Boog. Hashtag free Q money. And I see y'all on the next one. Till next time, I'm out of here.